everyone, this is Studio X, and in today's video we will be going over how to get product photography photos taken at home and make them look good. So let's go ahead and take a look at my setup. So you can see I have a Sony A7 camera attached to a tripod, and it's placed vertically because I'm looking to get a vertical photo for my Instagram post, basically promoting a product. And you can also see that it is tethered through a USB cable to a computer. I have Capture One open, as well as a remote camera control software, so I can control the shutter remotely on the camera without touching it and causing any little vibrations. To the left of the camera, I have a little light stand with a LED panel attached to it. To the right of my camera, I have another LED light that is sitting on these three little legs that I have from Monopod, and is just attached to the LED panel, and it's shining right at our subject in the photo. For the main light, I just have my window blinds with the sun shining outside. That way it can create an interesting looking shadow in my photo. The main subject in this photograph are products by the company Wooly that they sent me for my Instagram profile. Having an empty background is never fun, so I have a watch winder and a speaker. So to create more interesting reflections and background elements, I have this oil diffuser that is black, and it just reflects a little bit of light to give some interesting reflective details in the background. So another big plus is having a reflective surface, and in this case I just have this black glass. The black glass was taken from a TV stand that had two glass levels on the top and in the middle section. The colors behind the photo were red because of my wall, so I just put a black foam board behind the picture to give it a black look and make everything look very clean. Behind the watch winder, I placed the smaller piece of the glass from the TV stand, and that just covered up the Mac that was showing up in the background. Once I set up the composition for my photo, I'm ready to take it. And to take it, I'm just going to go to my computer and press the shutter button in the software. Once you find the perfect composition and the perfect settings, the next step is to take it at multiple exposures, and for this I just lower the ISO until it's really underexposed, and then I put the ISO up to make it overexposed. After that, we just have to go into Photoshop. So once you're in Photoshop, let's go to where our files were saved. For me, it was right here, and I already marked the ones that were great. So I'm going to start with the first one that I took, which was the perfectly exposed one, and I'm just going to throw it into Photoshop. Once it's in Photoshop, you're gonna adjust the settings. I already adjusted everything I needed, which was just clarity plus 15, and that's it for this one. Just hit open image. That way it opens up inside Photoshop. Next thing we are going to need to do is find another image that was underexposed. So just take that image and throw it into Photoshop as well. Make any corrections just like on the other one, which in this case is just a little more clarity, and hit open image. Now I'm just going to take this photo, the overexposed one, and bring it into the file with the perfectly exposed one. Make sure they align correctly, and as you can see, if I toggle between them two, you can see that they are the exact same photo, just different exposure. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the elements that were overexposed in the original shot match. So I'm just going to go to layer, layer mask, hide all, which just hides this layer, and I'm going to get a paintbrush and make sure that I'm on the mask, and white reveals the photo. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to draw on top of what you need to be exposed correctly, and just basically draw on it. So now, as you can see, I got the card to be exposed really nicely, and we're just going to duplicate the same layer, delete the mask, go to layer, layer mask, hide all, and do the exact same thing, but to things that need to be a little bit darker, for example like this flare on the glass. And by using the black paintbrush, you can take things out. There we go. Now I'm just going to go into the opacity and just tune it down a little bit. That is looking great. Now I'm going to duplicate the background layer, as well as turn the background into a layer, and I'm just going to hide it. Now in the background copy, we are going to be fixing up all the little mistakes that you have, all the little dirt pieces and everything like that. So as you can see, there's some dust particles on the reflection, so you can just take the spot removal tool and just make it the size of the little particles and just get rid of them all. So to save time in this tutorial, I won't be taking out all of the dust particles, but you'll see in the final image, the more you take out, the cleaner the image will look. And now it is the final step, and the final step is very simple. You just have to make a new layer, bring it up top, make sure it's at the very top, and go to your gradients and make a new gradient. What I did is I ended up picking a color that was really close to the whiskey in the glass. So I was clicking around and I saw that I got like a really nice bright orange, like a orangey brown, and I just got a little bit brighter color, but a very similar tone. And then you just zoom out, and while holding shift to make the straight line, you bring it in. So now you have this nice little coloring, and just go to the blending mode of overlay, and now you just brought in some nice color. I'm gonna turn in the opacity a little bit lower so it's not as strong, and here you go. Here is the final image. So let's compare it to the one that we got in the beginning. So this is what we started with, and this is what we got to. So you can see this is a pretty nice image, and it was taken at home, not a studio, with a very cheap setup. You know, the LED panels, you can get them for like $50 on Amazon, and you can really take it with any camera. If I get enough comments, I could actually reproduce this photo with my iPhone as well and take you a step-by-step process of how that was done. So I hope this video was helpful and you learned something new. If you're new to this channel, be sure to subscribe. I have a lot more tutorials coming up soon regarding photography as well as visual effects. And if you have any comments or questions, be sure to comment down below and I'll try my best to answer them. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.